Today we're going to review 11 comma rules that we need to be using in our writing. I've decided that we're doing this because I'm seeing a lot of people who are putting commas in where they're not needed and others who are not using commas when we need them. So we're going to talk about when and where they need to be, and we're going to talk about these things called proofs. Makes me think of proofreading. If I'm proofreading my writing, then I have to have an understanding of why I'm correcting things and putting information in there. So as we take notes, you should have this page open in your interactive notebook, page 13 of your writing section. Yours, of course, is blank over here. I'm showing you what your notes will end up looking like. And I want you to have a highlighter and then two different colored writing utensils. You could have a pencil and a pen, or you could have two different colored pens. It doesn't matter to me. But I want you to be able to show me two different types of text when we write. So as we go through the rules, I want you to highlight the explanation that we go over, and then you're going to write some examples under this box here where it says examples with proof. The example is going to go in one color, and anytime we put a comma, we have to have a reason, a rule to explain why it's there. That's going to be our proof. After you write my example, you're going to pause the video and then write another example in that box of your own. After we've gone through a few, there will be a video for you to watch, and then you're going to copy the examples from the video, focusing again on the commas and the proof, why they're there. Okay, so comma rules, starting with number 1. The first comma rule is used with dates. We use a comma between the day and the year when we're writing a date. And we're talking about the formal way of writing a date when we're writing it in a sentence. My birthday is September 9th, 1973. So I want you to highlight between the day and the year in one color, and then take out your pen or one of your pencil or one of your colored pens and write the sentence, my birthday is September 9th, 1973. And don't forget the comma. Now when we put the comma in there, and when I say this, you'll notice that I don't write the TH. You might hear it when I say it, but when we're writing a date out formally, we don't put that TH, or if I was writing second, the ND there. In formal writing, it's not included. Now, anytime for now that we're writing commas, I want you to have a reason, a proof. Prove to me why that comma is needed. So taking out your other colored pen, I want you to write above this comma, in parentheses, the rule. In this case, it's a date. We put the comma here because there's a date. Now you're going to pause the video and write your own example sentence using your own birthday or another date that's important to you, really focusing on that comma and the proof with your two different colored utensils. On to rule number 2, talking about addresses. And this kind of address is a place. We're going to talk about a different way that you can say address later on in another example, but for this one we're talking about places. When we're writing about places, we need to put a comma between the city and the state. So you should be highlighting between the city and the state. My example sentence is, I live in Perry, Ohio. Since I have a comma here, I need to put a proof. Why did I put the comma there? So in your other writing utensil, you're going to put above it the address. That's the rule, address. And then you're going to write your own example sentence, focusing again on the comma and the proof, why you're putting the comma there. And it should be the same because we're still working on rule number 2. Rule number 3 deals with letters, when we're writing letters. And this applies to when you're writing emails as well. Some of these comma rules should be included when you're texting. The more you use them, the easier it's going to be for you to find them in your own writing and make corrections. If you don't use them regularly, though, you're going to find that you have a much harder time identifying when you need to be using them. So you're highlighting in letters after the greeting and closing. When you're writing a letter, you always start with a greeting. Who are you writing to? Dear Mom. Dear Mrs. Culleton. Whoever your dear is, at the very end of that phrase, you're going to put a comma. So in this case, my proof, if I have a comma, I need a proof. It's because of a greeting. Then we have the end of the letter, when you're all done. Love, comma, sincerely, comma, yours truly, comma, and then either your signature, or if you're being really funny with your mom, you might put your favorite daughter or son. Because I have a comma here, I need a proof. The reason that I have the comma there is because I have the closing of a letter. Okay, so these are the first 3 rules. You're going to stop this video next and go on to the next couple of slides in the blend space. And as you watch the example videos, I want you to copy down as many examples as you see or can fit in the next column of your notes.